Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So, we just got two new polls being released. Well, actually, no, just one poll that shows a very, very close race. Mikey Sherrill neck and neck with Jack Ciattarelli in a, I want to say, 2 point advantage. This is for Valcour Save New Jersey. Of course, you're going to see Democrat polling because obviously we've noticed this in blue states. We do know that Democrats tend to poll more in polls. The polls are obviously more aligning in value, but if I take up that, this is huge Ciattarelli news that would put him over the edge for sure. You're seeing by the average. The Wikipedia average is about to go below 4% for Cheryl. This is not good. It's not even October yet. And October is when the big stuff happens. It's called the October surprise. And what we're seeing right now is an October surprise. An end of September surprise. We're seeing a lot of scandals come out of the Cheryl campaign, regardless, a scandal involving her kids and getting them giving them government money, something like that. I have a hard time understanding. I don't want to spill anything out, give accusations that I might be misunderstanding. But something involving her kids has been uncovered, and she has a lot of safe-facing to do. And you're seeing this right now play out. And this is, if I were to guess, this is where what we're seeing right now is Jack Ciattarelli's campaign is surging and it's not stopping. In fact, the other way around, Cheryl's campaign is not stopping. It's not done sinking. And this could save the 2025 year for Republicans. And I'm just saying, this year I've said it from January, and I'll say it again. This is not our year to win. This is a year where you got two blue states in the governorship, and generally you have a Republican in the White House, and usually the opposition party does good in down ballot races. So this is pretty much what my expectation is, but it looks like the expectation is going to overseed our expectations because Ciattarelli it's looking like he's going to pull it off. It really does look like he's pulling it off. This race has attracted many news because of Ciattarelli's overperformances in recent news. And you're seeing a new mayor coming out and endorsing Jack Ciattarelli, and that is the mayor of Dover. New Jersey, where that is, let's see, we got to go ahead and type that in because it should be in there. Yes, Dover. James Dodd. Now I say it's not a highlighted name, but it's just another Democrat in a long list of Democrats that are backing the Ciattarelli campaign. And I'm just saying, hey, if you're having so many Democrat endorsements, the likelihood is you got even more Democrats likely going to show up and vote for Ciattarelli in the Republican ticket. Ciattarelli is generally a guy who really does appeal to people. People like his personality. He's an Italian, which it fits with the ethnic state in most of the state of New Jersey. A lot of New Jerseyans are Italians. I don't know if he's Catholic or not, but he does have Christian views that align with a lot of New Jerseyans, along with overall just that good businessman sort of nature. He is a guy, obviously, looking at his results, he overperforms the margins. And like in 21, yeah, Ciattarelli wasn't supposed to do so well, and he ended up pulling a very good one off in the state of New Jersey in 2021. The question is, are we going to pull one off this year? It very looks like it when it comes, according to the poll results. You didn't see poll results going on in 2021 in New Jersey. You didn't see that. Instead, what you're looking at right now, going to 2021, polls during this time today, of course, is let's go down. It is the 29th of September. You're going to be seeing, let's go ahead, end of September, around this time, October 9th, September 17th, yeah, Jack Ciattarelli was like 9 points underwater. No, 9 points below of what Phil Murphy is right now. This is very, very, very good. And a lot of people are like, oh, do you have a prediction for us? Well, the prediction is still pretty much the same from last week. And, I'll just go ahead and do live PMS right now on the thick of it. But, yes, you'll see that I do think that we're going to pull off a pretty stunning win in Bergen County. We can actually look at those results from Jackson Jude. We'll see how they perform this time around. But Jackson Jude here, let's see if they pull it up here. We'll use the margins. Now, obviously, this is in regards to the presidential race, and we'll go through all the other races also. But let's do comparisons. Yeah, 10-point swing to the right. You're seeing, and then again, you want to do well in this area right here. You aren't winning an election if you perform vastly over here, overperforming these areas. You got to perform in the biggest rural areas, the biggest urban areas, and that is, like I like to call the Giant Five. Okay, you got Morris, you got Pesiac, you got Bergen, you got Essex, and you got Hudson. And Union, that really it's just 6 counties all scrunched into one. So you got these 3 counties, and you got to do good in all 6 of them. And if you're don't do all good, and let's just say Trump made them all solid red in all these 6 counties, then he would have won New Jersey pretty handily. But he didn't. But he did make a dramatic swing in Pesiac County. That was the probably biggest swing he has done in the state of New Jersey. It was a formerly Democratic stronghold. I do predict that county will be for Jack Ciattarelli this time around. It's gotten pretty conservative. Why it's gotten more conservative? You got Hispanic voters there. And not only that, but a lot of Catholics dominate that area. And I can tell you there is a big Italian population. So first off, we will state and clarify that, yes, Ciattarelli will pick up the county of Pesiac. Even Morris County, I think, is sealed for Ciattarelli. I was concerned at the beginning of the year that Cheryl will win this county. And I've come to the conclusion, okay, she's not even from this county. She's like her residency is right over here in Essex County. She's close enough. And I guess I was really responding to the primary results where, yeah, she really pulled a 60% win in Morris County, a county that she never even resides in. But then again, this is just primary results. Primary results are way different than, let's just say, general election results. And I know you will say, oh, well, you do have, of course, Andy Kim performing his performance in his own county of Burlington County. He breached 60% of the vote. That's what they will remind us. But I guess the stakes in that election was very low. Okay, very low. And not to mention, Andy Kim was much of a relatable Democrat. I'll tell you what. I'm watching the debates in this. Andy Kim was a relatable Democrat. That's just the truth, and that's just the way it is. He came out as, sympathetic, and came out as apologetic. I don't want to say apologetic, but compassionate, sympathetic when Curtis Bashaw had a medical issue during the first New Jersey debate. I believe it was the second debate, where Bashaw almost literally tipped over his podium, and it was not the moderators that checked in on him. It was actually Andy Kim that walked over and checked on him, saying, "Hey, buddy, are you okay? You need to sit and rest." That really, unintentionally or intentionally, whatever it was, the fact of the matter is that benefited Andy Kim's campaign. It showed that he was compassionate. It showed that he was relatable to the average person. That regardless if you think Andy Kim's a good person or not, it demonstrated that, hey, he just wants to help. He wants to make sure he wants it, even as a political opponents, he wants the best for them, and he wants the best for all New Jerseyans. This is what showed New Jersey, and Regardless of if this was a non-intentional stunt or whatever, the fact of the matter is that issue alone, that first 5 minutes of the debate, it didn't matter what Curtis Bashaw had to say in that debate. It was sealed up. The whole entire election was sealed up for Andy Kim after that. Not to mention Curtis Bashaw made it very difficult for himself, suggesting that, I didn't eat my breakfast. Really? Blood. Dude, you turned pale and you almost fainted. And not to mention, that's not good. I mean, you are running for Senate and you can't even prioritize your own breakfast? Like, seriously? You can't even prioritize your own meal? Seriously. So, obviously. And you would think, in general, that after the conviction of Bob Menendez, that Kim would have underperformed. He did. Looking at the Senate results here, Kim did underperform. Well, I wouldn't say he underperformed, but not by much. Not by much. And I wouldn't say it was because of Kim. It was just Bashaw, okay? Bashaw was just... He ran a reckless campaign. He ran ads of him kissing his own husband. That does not resonate with normal testosterone men, okay? It does not resonate. I hate, no, I'm so offended. No, I don't care. No, it does not resonate with men. It does not, period. And I don't know why this is not working again. Okay, we're just going to try again, but... And that's just the fact. Kissing your husband is very controversial. I don't care if you think it's... Yeah, I know what Curtis Bashaw was trying to do. He's trying to bring LGBTQ Republicans, virtue signal to LGBTQ Republicans to the party and all that stuff and all that jazz. Yeah, I get what he's trying to do. But he turned off half of his base. So... There were a lot of Republicans that just said, screw it, we're not voting for Bashaw. He turns me off. In fact, I'm not going to vote at all, or I'd rather vote for Kim. I'm just saying. So I do think Kim would be a force to reckon with. He could be the next Cory Booker, because Cory Booker just blew his career up in the last the first couple months of the Trump presidency. But you do see something interesting coming out when it comes to Andy Kim. But the point of mentioning Andy Kim was he won his own county by over 60%. And a lot of people say, what about Morris County? What about Cheryl? But here's the deal, though. Cheryl doesn't come from Morris, I want to remind you. And just because she performed vastly very well there, unusually very well, so well that you would think she resides there. Perhaps she had links, she has family, she has friends, she has traits in that county of Morris. But this county has historically been Republican. I'm looking at the current state of the polls. I'm looking at saying you can't possibly win Morris County. You just can't. It did vote for Biden in 2024. And look at here, yeah, it did vote for Biden. We could pull up that election results for Morris County. But it didn't, it swung back to the right, as clearly saw. 7 points back to the right. Why is that? Yeah, you'll see 2020, 51%. Yeah, you just breached 51%. That's all Biden could do, breach 51% in Morris County. And they think it was going to be like a PCIC County, some sort of deal, and it was not. And you see Cory Booker winning the county in 2020, only by 50%. The legendary Cory Booker can't even breach the county past 55%. 48% for Rick Mata in the said county. That's all little old Cory could do. But then you get the Class 1. Bashaw won the county by 50. So it is relatively competitive still. But look, Jack won the county by 55.3%. That's a lot. That is like a solid margin right here. to the Democrat, who is Phil Murphy. He got 44% in the county. So seeing Jack Ciattarelli's popularity in Morris County, you could imagine that, hey, 55% is just too big to breach. It's probably going to go for him anyway. And looking at the polls and the numbers and the climax of this race, I would think that Morris is locked up right now. Pasiak is pretty much locked up. And the question is, Bergen County. What about Bergen County? What makes Bergen County a battleground? And can it be trustworthy? First off, we need to understand what makes Bergen County even blue in the first place, because it is influenced by the suburbs in New York. But there are other suburbs of New York that are conservative, okay? They don't have to be liberal. And I'm looking at specifically counties near Bergen County, okay? And that is specifically Rockland County right here. Smack right here. And Rockland County, we've noticed, took a dramatic swing to the right in recent years. Yes, 13% to the right. It is a pretty solid Trump county now. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Yeah, it's 11% for Trump. It voted for Biden by 1.7. So it's a very solid-ish Trump county. And I jump on that chance. And you also had Orange County, which was in territory of being flipping sort of territory ground. It's pretty Republican now. 8 points, almost enough to become a likely 10% solid Republican stronghold. So you got Republican counties, two solid populated Republican counties along Bergen County borderline. And Bergen County, yeah, Harris won the county by 3.4. And here's the deal. Democrats aren't, well, it depends, because Cheryl's campaign was just garbage. We know Kamala's campaign was garbage also, but the thing was, it was a presidential race. People were going to turn out and vote regardless. This is a governor's race. This is going to be low incentive. So, yeah, I'm still standing my ground with Bergen. I think it's going to be still Republican. And Bergen County, believe it or not, has had a history of being more Republican Bergen County. More Republican than Pasiak County. And looking at just the county history, yeah, I'm looking at over here, it's been more Democrat since 1996, swinging historically more to the right. But there's a Senate race, gubernatorial races, 60% for Chris Christie, of course. Maybe it is a little bit more liberal. But looking at these maps, yeah, Bergen is more conservative back in 2009 compared to Pasiak. Let's pull up election maps. So going to 2020, yeah, Pasiak and Bergen, same margin in 2016. Look at this. Biden picking up Pasiak by 60%. Bergen is in that sort of territory. 2012. Yeah, it's in the likely territory. Here. Same deal in 2008. It's a little bit more lighter, actually. So it was for long a more conservative compared to Pasiak. So it's flipping around. Why? What makes it blue? You might be wondering. What makes Bergen County more blue? Let's actually go and find out. Hackensack is of course the county seat, and its population of 46,000. So it's urban, but not to mention all the other neighboring counties are also urban. Looking at, let's just say, an election map specifically from 4 years ago, yeah, you'll see you have some communities that are solid in the 70%. That's real, and you're going to really look at these communities right up here. Wish we could take a microphone. I mean, Mike, or Mike, scroll in and zoom in. But yeah, you have these. You just need probably to take all these areas in order to make it more conservative. Let's go ahead and see. Or, you never know, maybe Dave Leaps has a map, a microscope map of New Jersey. Hopefully they do, so we can actually look at that. But we can check. I doubt they would. But we can check Dave Leaps and see if they have anything for us. And I doubt they do. But, they do. They do. Okay, so look at this. It's a little small. Let's see if we can get a bigger map. Okay, no, this is the bigger map. What am I talking about? All right, so yeah, you got this county, 3 points for Kamala Harris. Yeah, this is pretty liberal here. In order to flip the county, I think we just need to recognize, okay, so Glen Rock is too blue. Ridgewood's too blue. You go after Fair Lawn, which is pretty close. That's a city, 18,000 people. You also have Hillsdale. You go after Allendale. And yeah, even Oradell. You go after these communities and try to trounce more of these votes in the outer areas. You're going to probably win. Same thing goes with PCAC. Yeah, this is a pretty big Republican county. We picked it up. Hey, if we win Helidon, let's be mindful. Stein did pick up 4.3% in that vote. Patterson, 62%. That's really what kept it blue in the first place. Obviously, you also want to make sure we're doing well in Essex County. We're not going to win this county, obviously, but we do want to make sure that we are swinging the county more right compared to 2021. So, and that same deal with Essex. You do have big old Newark City. Try to swing that city to more of the 69, 68. Then if you get that up to 68% in Newark, you should feel very good. You really should feel very good. Morris, yeah, you do have a lot of blue communities. I'm going to actually pull up, see if they do have a 2021 map. And yes, here's your 2021 map. More darker. You should try to win this community, Paris Pawnee, something like that. Randolph, Madison. Yeah, if you swing it more, you actually pick up majority, when you do have a majority, but just a few cities in Morris for Cheryl, you should feel very good about this race being in our direction. Yeah, you have PCAC. Patterson City went to Trump. Why did it go to Trump? It went to Trump because of the Hispanic vote, I want to believe. Had to be more of the Hispanic or the Muslim vote. But you also have 54% in Clifton, Heldon, Prospect Park. Yeah, you just need to make sure maybe we won't win Patterson this time, but I'll tell you, 16,000 votes, will it make a difference? It does, but we should try to counter that. So PCAC is not going to be it's going to be close. Don't get me wrong. Bergen, Murphy won this quite a bit, and I'll tell you right now, it's not going to look like this. The race right now is looking way too close. So you should see improvements in Bergen County for sure. Essex was a huge swing to the right. You see some gains. 89%. Wow. Almost 90% in Newark. But yeah, you also have, of course. So really it wasn't much of Ciattarelli overperforming or underperforming in these territories. It was just in these counties. It was just everywhere else. That's what we want. So as long as we do that, we should feel very good. We should also try to make sure we get to 70% for Ocean County. That is a huge basin for Republicans. If we get to 70%, then you should feel also very good at where this race is heading. So we're going to go ahead and end this video with a prediction. And I'll tell you right now, it's looking like this. A lot of people, I would say, what's more of the toss-ups? These two counties, Somerset and Bergen. Bergen, I've decided to be Republican. Somerset has been questionable. Former Republican county, now Democrat county, obviously. Harris won the county by 13.8. I do still think it's still going to be pretty liberal. In the end of the day, we can actually go ahead and see how that county voted for Ciattarelli. It was a close one, actually. It is possible that he could pick it up. But as of right now, I do think Cheryl will probably win, as the race is still very close. If Ciattarelli is winning the county, then it's probably going to be a blowout for Ciattarelli. But nothing changes as of right now in New Jersey. But what do you guys think in regards to this video? Let me know down below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.